It is 2:11 a.m. I'm drinking Blue Moon Belgian White with a shit ton of orange slices in it, and we're going to answer some questions. By the way, sometimes if it sounds like I'm reading from something, it's because I made talking points on some of these questions because I need to keep this shorter than the first time. This is my second time recording this because the first time was way too long and I went on 10,000 different tangents. So I didn't script this. This is what I'm trying to say. I made talking points. So whatever. Anyway, let's move on. You've written a couple of your own stories, right? What is your favorite part about writing them? For me, it's a good creative and emotional outlet. It's really cathartic for me, like if I'm going through something or if I need to work through something or if I'm just pissed off, I can just channel that into these stories. Also, it's good for me to push myself to when it comes to like different kinds of subjects or whatever. It's fun too, it's fun. I get this kind of twisted sense of accomplishment out of it. If you were to make your own backstory or persona, what will it be? Also, great job on the past few videos. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. My own backstory or persona. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess off the top of my head, if I had to choose a backstory, if you read or listened to my story Blackout, I'd probably go with that because I think it's hilarious. I don't know, just the idea of it. And I mean, not hilarious, it's very fucked up, but I don't know. Like, you just become the thing that you are portraying, like it's taking over. I don't know. That's cool. I don't know. I'll go with that. Where do you live? Not a stalker question, I swear. If you don't know where I already live, I'm just gonna say the southern part of the United States. I mean, it's not like a big secret or anything, but I don't know. Do you make these videos in addition to school or working, or just these videos? I am no longer in school, but I do work. I do hair on the side, but I'm actually part business owner in a small business, and I don't really talk about it because it's my business. Not to sound like a bitch, but it's part of my professional life, and I've said this a couple times, I like to keep things separate. This whole thing is very much like my thing. Oh god, I'm going off on a tangent. Reeling back. I don't talk a lot about it because it's really boring and it's my personal and professional business and I just don't want to talk about it. But I've been talking with my sister about maybe getting into like interior decorating or something like that because it's something we both enjoy. So, I don't know, that might be a possibility. I'm also working on a novel, hopefully to publish one day. I'd like to get to a point where I can possibly, knock on wood, lean on that more, I have a lot of things going on. But thankfully with the business, I'm not needed there 100%, like physically needed there 100% of the time. So that lets me do these videos. Otherwise I would be like, this would not be happening, probably. Do you have a favorite creepypasta narrator? Well, there's so many awesome narrators out there, first of all, but my friend, Getting Spooky, she has been a favorite of mine for a while. She's a badass and she's an amazing narrator. We've collabed a couple times together. I'll link those below if you want to check those out. And it was so fun. She's awesome. What are your favorite types of stories? I have 3 main favorite kinds of stories. In general, though, I do tend to like to be the bad guy or the villain in a story. It's just more interesting to me than, being the victim and blah, blah, blah. But I've been trying to expand into being the victim more often. I'd prefer to not be the victim, though. My 3 favorite kinds of stories, though, I like the personification of evil or ill intent. I do like gore stories. I don't like gore movies. I like gore stories because my imagination is plenty equipped enough to deal with that. I don't need to see it, and I don't really want to see it. I mean, Tarantino is one thing and shit like that, but like, those movies that are like gore fest, I can't always. It's like too much sometimes. Anyway, and I like sad stories. I do. I like a good creepy story that's also sad, or just a straight up sad story. How do you find creepy stories, and how do you decide which stories to do a reading from? My main source for stories is No Sleep. But I've gone to this website, Spine Tinglers, and I really like that, and they've got some awesome stories. A lot of their stories, though, are on the longer side, so I don't tend to do a ton from those, but I do have a couple bookmarked that I'm wanting to do. They have some awesome stories on there. Also, if I find a creepypasta story that I like, I know, like, No Sleep, I don't know, I'm not, like, totally, I'm going off on a tangent again, but when it comes to, like, No Sleep stories and creepypasta stories, to me, in my mind, they're separate, even though I know creepypastas are scary stories on the internet, correct? I don't know. I get kind of stupid when it comes to shit like this, because I'm really just reading creepy stories or fucked up stories. I'm not trying to get hung up on, like, the terminology. Not that's an excuse to be ignorant about it. But anyway, in my mind, they're separate. So how do I find them? There's just a lot of digging around and skimming and spoiling the end for myself and reading out loud to myself, and it's a really, really tedious process. Sometimes I'm really, really picky, and just sometimes it gets very tedious, but I enjoy it. It's like an annoying, enjoyable process. I don't know. Anyway, who does the images for your videos? I do the images for my videos. I use Photoshop Elements, if you're wondering. I don't have, like, full-fledged Photoshop. Whatever. I don't need anything fancy. What is your own personal scariest experience? You might have already mentioned it in one of your vlogs, but I'm asking it here. I did do a vlog on one of the more scarier experiences that I've had in my life, which was the out-of-body experience. Again, I said it in the vlog, but again, here, I know a lot of people don't believe in that kind of thing, or they think it's bullshit or whatever, but these are my experiences, and I am the first person to tell you that I am skeptical of people because people lie, and I wish that could, give some comfort to my story, but, or credibility to my story, but if you believe me, you believe me. If you don't, you don't. I'll link that below too if you want to check that out. I don't know. But when I lived with my sister for a few years before getting my own place, my room in her house had this, like, really distinctly unsettling feeling, and it was like someone was watching you constantly, and it was almost like suffocating, and I had a hard time sleeping in that room, and it was just really palpable, I guess. Like, You know when someone's staring at you and you just feel it? It was like that, like all the time, especially at night. I am someone who does believe in spirits or ghosts or whatever you want to call them. So in saying that, I don't know if it was something that was attached to me or something in that room, but I'm completely, I know something was there. And sometimes I do get that feeling in certain parts of my house now that I'm living in, so maybe it is attached to me. I don't know. I get really upset and angry about it, and I yell at whatever it is. I know that sounds really, really strange, but you have to be assertive to leave me the fuck alone. What's the worst or terrible creepypasta you've ever read? The only reason why I'm gonna answer this honestly is because I don't think I ever found the author, so I don't really feel bad about calling a story out. But I did a drunk reading of it. I forget the name of it. I think it was called China Doll or something like that. I'll link that below as well. I'm not trying to link a bunch of my videos and have you watch all them, by the way. I'm just remembering things that I've already talked about. How much time does it take for you to make a video beginning to end? Do you make several in a row and upload them one at a time, or is each video made close to the day you release them? Generally, depending how long the story is and how much I stress about sound effects and music, and if there are several words that I have a hard time pronouncing, because that happens quite often, it can take half an hour, 45 minutes, or longer to complete a reading video start to finish, for me at least. Sometimes I do record a couple at a time, and I'll save the raw audio and just edit it another day. But if I have a free day and I feel like recording and I'm all motivated to do it, then I'll record and edit and make videos for 3 or 4 stories so they're ready to go, or more, depending on my mood. It all depends on my mood. If I don't feel like recording, I can't even get the words out. And then other times, I can do all that the day that it's supposed to be out. So again, it really depends on how I'm feeling. What time do you go to sleep? Not creepy, genuinely curious, since I hear creative people thrive more at night than day. I'm definitely a night person. I try to go to bed no later than 2:30 to 3. It's 2:30 now. If I'm on a roll writing, if I'm in the zone, I'm writing, I'm doing good, then I'm usually up till 5 or 6, because I probably don't start writing until 4:30. And the next morning is a huge mess because I am fucked up. But I'm definitely a night person, and my sleeping schedule is all over the place. So, yeah. Roughly, how old are you? Feel free to not answer this one. I'm roughly 25 years old. What would make you most happy? Okay. First of all, this is kind of a loaded question for me. This is one of those I need to take a couple days to think about, because I'm ridiculous like that. As materialistic as it sounds, I've been doing a lot of redecorating and renovations in my house, and I've lived here for a few years now, and I just never moved in. I don't know, I was going through shit, and I never took the time to really make my house a home, and I'm trying to do that now. So if I can get all of this shit done with my house and looking the way that I want it to, then I would be really happy. My home is becoming my hub or whatever. So if I'm happy with my surroundings, then I'm more likely to stay happy. I don't know. That's what I think. If you're happy with your surroundings, the more likely you will be happier with a lot of other things. But I don't know. That's my answer. What are your top 3 favorite movies? Any movies, even if it's not horror. Well, okay. I'm gonna not do 3 movies because I can't. There are so many movies that I can't pick 3, okay? Drop Dead Fred will always have a special place in my heart. I love that movie. I love Fred. I love that movie so much. The Boondock Saints I can watch that a million times. I love that movie, the first one. The second one, and I don't know. I'll still watch it, but I mean, it's not like my favorite. For the last one, I wrote this down. I settled for a 3-way tie between their more recent movies that I've watched. Odd Thomas was a really fast favorite movie for me. I did not read the book, and I don't want to read the book because I don't want the movie to be ruined if the book is better. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's like the stupidest thing anyone's ever heard, but that's how I feel. I don't want to ruin the movie because I loved the movie so much. And if you watch it, if you haven't watched it already, and if you want to, I highly recommend it. Keep an open mind when you're watching it. You have to like separate the movie from real life. You know, if that makes sense. Just don't take it seriously, but don't take it like real life seriously. I don't know. Anyway, the second one is The Kings of Summer. Fell in love with it. It was amazing. It was fucking hilarious. And it was so good. I want to watch it again. It was so good, in my opinion. I know there's probably people like that. Your movie selection sucks. I don't care. They're my movies that I like. And the third movie that a friend of mine told me to watch was Monsters. And I think that's still on Netflix. I'm not sure. It's just called Monsters. Definitely watch that. It's a big monster movie. The cover to the movie, from what I remember, it looks kind of like a jokey movie, but it's not. Like, you look at it and you're like, what the fuck? No, I'm not going to watch that. But do watch it. Oh my God. And I forgot this one. You need to watch Open Grave. You need to watch Open Grave. You have to watch it. Go watch it. And then after you've watched it, come back to this video and tell me what you thought. That's all I'm going to say. I can't say anything else because I'm going to give it away. But that's all that I'm going to say. And if you watch it and you don't like it, I'm going to feel real dumb, but I'm going to be surprised. Anyway, moving on. Any authors that inspire you to actually write or excited to read more of their work? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Glenn Duncan. I love his work. I love the way he words things. I don't know if I've said this before somewhere. I've definitely said it on my Tumblr before. Glenn Duncan is everything. He is a fucking genius. I love him. What are your thoughts on Suspenders? God damn it, both words. They're amazing, and that's what they are. These are numbered. 1. Has a creepypasta ever truly scared you? Yeah, a couple times. It's more the idea of a story, like putting myself in that position of what I would call the victim of a story has genuinely scared me, like genuinely freaked me out to where I was like, no, not doing this, bye. And, I gotta look at cute dog videos or something. But it's more of the idea of the story than anything. Because I tend to put myself in that situation in my head. And Yeah. Number 2, favorite horror movie of all time. I'm not a huge fan of horror movies, oddly enough. I do get scared easily, so I'm kind of a big chicken, especially with like paranormal stuff, like ghosts and stuff like that. I guess it's kind of hilarious, but I'm a fan of the classics, The Shining, Psycho, The Exorcist. I'm a huge fan of Freddy Krueger. He's probably one of my favorite horror movie villains, to be honest. When I was little, I was like really, really scared of him. And like trick-or-treating, if I remember specifically, there was a house that had a Freddy Krueger, like one of those Halloween statue things, mannequin statue things, and I wouldn't go near it. I was so scared. I love Freddy Krueger though. I say Cougar. It's Krueger. I'm sorry. I constantly say Freddy Krueger. One of the horror movies that really got to me though was one of Poughkeepsie tapes. Am I saying that right? I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. That movie fucked me up. And it was good, but it fucked me up. I was not okay after that one. Number 3, when's your book coming out? When's your book coming out? Probably like 10 years. I'm just kidding. I'm actually nearing the end. I'm trying to give myself a deadline to finish by the end of the year, so hopefully I get that done. I should be able to. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. Hopefully. Number 4, when's the movie adaptation of your book coming out? Oh god. Let's worry about getting this shit written and published first, and then I'm not gonna hold my breath about that, because that's ridiculous. How fucking awesome would that be though? I would be ecstatic. I would be ecstatic. Number 5, what made you start doing recordings? Well, as much of an introvert as I actually am, there's obviously a part of me that's just this big ol' attention whore, because otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. It's really funny because I hated reading up until I was out of high school. I kind of resented reading because I think because I was like forced to read all these books that I had no interest in reading whatsoever. I don't know, I guess I started associating reading with this like negative connotation or just like punishment. I don't know. So I never enjoyed reading. The only books I ever really read on my own and enjoyed were the Harry Potter books, and even those I listened to the audiobooks before I actually read the books. Also, I didn't like reading in general because my reading retention was horrible and I felt really inadequate because of it. Like I never remembered anything I ever read, and it was really frustrating. But then I don't know how, but I figured out that I could absorb more of the story and remember more of the story or whatever I was reading if I read it out loud to myself. And I had been doing that for a while, and then I don't know, somehow I came across these creepypasta stories and then No Sleep. I don't know how I came across all of them, but I did. And then the narrating part of YouTube, I don't know, like it had to be like one late night YouTube adventure or something, I don't know, but I came across all this stuff and I'm like, and then I had this kind of epiphany, like, oh, hold on a second, I can do this too. Like I didn't put it together that I could do something like this. I don't know. I was having a dumb moment, I guess. I don't know, but I just kind of tried it, and I recorded myself a few times, and I listened to myself, and I wasn't completely horrified with how I sounded when I read, and so I was like, I have nothing to lose. Let's just try this out, see how it goes, and then just went from there. Number 6, do you have a plan for the zombie apocalypse? Kind of, I think. I think my safest bet would be somehow, some way to get to New Zealand. That would be like the end goal. Get to New Zealand. Number 7, what are you currently reading, watching, listening to? Reading, nothing. I just finished a book. I read Lords of Salem by Rob Zombie, and it was strange. I've been trying to expand my reading out of the genre of young adult books because I don't read a lot of adult contemporary novels or whatever the fuck you want to call them. I don't know. I just don't. And I read Rob Zombie. It was strange. At the end I was like, what the fuck? But I don't know if it was a good what the fuck or a bad what the fuck or what kind of what the fuck it was, but it was just what the fuck. And that was it. What am I watching? I've been trying to focus on Hemlock Grove. I'm trying not to marathon it, even though it's so hard not to. Because I don't want to blow through it and then have it end and be all sad when it's over and blah blah blah. So I've been trying to stretch it out. There's a lot of things I need to be watching though. I've been watching a lot of Golden Girls late at night. I record them and I watch them as I go to sleep. I don't know. I love Golden Girls. I've been listening to... I'm the kind of person that recycles music, and I won't listen to something for a long time, and then that's all I'll listen to again. Back in middle school and high school, Sum 41 was my band. That and Blink-182, they were my band. So recently I've been listening to a lot of Sum 41 again, and their newer stuff too. Their new song, what's it called? Reason to Believe. I'm obsessed with it. It's on repeat in my car. I can't get enough. I love it. It's amazing. So that's what I've been listening to. Number 8. What level are you in the Kim Kardashian game? I'm at too high of a level for it to be okay at this point. I don't know how it happened, guys. I don't know how it started, but I got hooked on this shit, and I can't seem to get off. It's stressing me out. I'm doing more photo shoots than I know what to... I can't handle it, but I can't stop. It's bad. The game is so stupid, but I can't stop. Ugh. Thanks for reminding me that I'm a fucking idiot. Alright, final question. Which is actually, I made several talking points about this one because this was the longest tangent I ever had. And it's probably going to be a long tangent again. Who is your favorite superhero and why is it Batman? One of my favorite superheroes is absolutely Batman. It's very known. But for more reasons other than he's fucking amazing. But he is fucking amazing. I love Batman. I love the city of Gotham. Everything about that. I can't get enough. Let's start from the beginning and cue the sad music, please. My brother, who is really kind of the starting point to my love of, superheroes and knowing about superheroes and music and anything cool that I like, basically. He was 22 years older than me, significantly older than me. I'm adopted. But when I was little, he used to take me to see all the new Batman movies. that would come out, and it would just be this really awesome night, and there's some of my favorite memories with him. So when I was younger, I associated Batman with my brother, and I still kind of do. Batman was his favorite superhero. He actually never got to see Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises because he passed away, and it makes me like really sad because he would have loved them. But as I got older, I kind of learned more about Batman on my own and like his backstory, and I like became more interested in him, I guess, like him as a character and whatever, because it was the first Batman movie that I saw without him, and it just, it was like, it was emotional. So it became less of a superficial, oh my god, Batman is so cool, and he's got this awesome car and the fucking Batcave thing, and it became less of that and more of a, oh my god, I get it kind of thing, because I do kind of identify with this whole adult orphan aspect of him, because I am an adult orphan, and I don't know, it's silly, I know it's silly, but I just like, it's a connection, and it's not that it's like nice to see someone else in that situation, even if they're a fictional character, but it's like comforting in some ways to know that you're not the only one, I guess. Like, even though I know, but I don't know, reeling it in. But I think my all-time favorite superhero has got to be the Incredible Hulk. When I was little, I was completely convinced that my brother was the Incredible Hulk. I love the Hulk, and it kind of is a little parallel to my love for werewolves, I think. In my mind, I know the connections. I don't know, whatever. Anyway. So that's that. There was a lot of questions. But anyway, thank you for the questions. This was really awesome. This is super fun. I hope this wasn't really boring to listen to me talk about random things and go off on tangents. We should do this again sometime, guys. Thanks for everything. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking my videos, for commenting, for just being awesome people. You guys are amazing, and I love you all, and have an awesome day or night or whatever you are doing. And until next time, I don't know how to end videos, so I'm just gonna say bye.